One of the most tragic examples of the sin of omission, the sin of compromise, I believe the sin of cowardice as well. It grieves me to say this, and I say it with fear and trepidation, right? But these are public sins. This is public betrayal of the Christian faith. Would be Cardinal Dolan in New York City, who has refused in any manner, shape, or form to publicly deal with Mario Cuomo's son, Andrew Cuomo, the governor of New York. Now, when Mario Cuomo was governor years ago, one of the auxiliary bishops in the Catholic Church in New York City, Bishop Austin Vaughn, what a prince of a man. He was arrested with us 9 times in Operation Rescue. Just a fearless preacher of the truth to defend innocent human life and preaching civil disobedience for Christ, as it teaches in the book of Acts. And he said publicly that Mario Cuomo, the governor, was on his way to hell, okay? Fast forward 30 years, 25 years, and Archbishop Dolan, Cardinal Dolan, he's got the son of Mario Cuomo, then Governor Mario Cuomo, now Governor Andrew Cuomo, who is cohabitating with his girlfriend, who is promoting the murder of babies, who mocked pro-lifers and said, I wish they would get out of our state, they're not welcome here, who is a militant supporter of same-gender marriage. All right? These are all things that are in total violation of Roman Catholic orthodoxy, okay? He goes to Mass, he receives communion, Archbishop Dolan publicly yucks it up with him, and Dolan was on a radio show recently and sent a statement to the New York Times. Archbishop Dolan has not, nor ever will, say that Andrew Cuomo is not a Catholic in good standing. Why? And people say to me, don't go after Christian leaders, go after the political leaders. Well, we all have our station in life. We all have our office in life. If someone is a pastor or a priest or the leader of a denomination or a bishop or an archbishop or a cardinal in the Catholic Church, these leaders have a duty commensurate with their station. In other words, their job requires that they say and don't say and don't do certain things to defend the faith and to inspire the faithful and to teach the faithful. So let's say you're a Catholic Democrat in New York City. Are you going to have any problem voting for Cuomo? Baby killer Cuomo? No, I mean, Archbishop or Cardinal Dolan says he's a great guy. Yucks it up with him. You know, Dolan said in a radio interview that Governor Cuomo has assured him that he really wants to work with pro-lifers. That's so funny. He mocks pro-lifers. He wants to murder babies. He takes New York State taxpayer money and uses it to murder babies, all right? He's a vile, despicable man. So how can I criticize Cuomo and not say, Cardinal Dolan, what are you doing? Or more importantly, what aren't you doing? And bring this back around to the judgment of God, okay? People say, why would you, don't speak against the church, let up on the church. No, listen. The scripture says judgment begins at the house of God. Judgment begins in the house of God. And if you look at, I believe it was Ezekiel, and he had the vision of the elders in the temple, and the angel said, go and put a mark on everybody who sighs and who cries over all the abominations that are done. And then go and kill everyone, starting at the temple. Kill everyone who doesn't have the mark of sighing and crying over the sins and the crimes. Okay? That's where the phrase in the New Testament, judgment begins at the house of God, that's where it comes from. So if God were to go into our churches and mark people with some angelic mark, some invisible mark to the human eye, but seen by God, and he was marking people who sigh and who cry over the abominations that are being done in this country, how many would he find? How many pastors are using their office not just to sigh and to cry, but to denounce these evils and to teach the faithful what it means to be faithful? Okay? So, to answer in the shortest possible way, the dear viewer who wrote to me and said, look, I get it, going after the bad people and going after these wicked schemes that are out there, but leave the church alone. How can I? How can I? We would not be in the mess that we are in right now if our Christian leaders were doing their job. We would not be in the mess that we are in if our Christian leaders were like the prophets of old, if they were watchmen on the wall, if they were saying, here am I, Lord, send me. We would have already restored this country. But it's getting worse. And the shepherds, like I believe the prophet Jeremiah said, are becoming more and more like dumb dogs. Dogs who refuse to bark and to warn. I'll be right back.